Hello and welcome to another episode of History with Andy Ackright. I'm Andy Ackright. This was one of the first videos, I think the first video I posted, and I didn't do it justice, so I wanted to reshoot it. I'm standing in front of the Philadelphia Missionary Baptist Church, but this used to be known as the Madam C.J. Walker School. Now, C.J. Walker School is very interesting. It was built in 1888, and it was integrated. And so you have an integrated school, white and black, and it was named after an African-American woman. Some say the first African-American millionaire. So you have whites and blacks, but then they start being separated in 1900. Now, in 1947, school district number 90, which is what Walker School was part of, built a new school, South Park Elementary School. And at that time, they had expanded from a one-room schoolhouse to a two-room schoolhouse. But the Walker School had leaking roofs, had dirt floors. They had to go outside for restrooms. When it rained, the basement, which was their lunchroom, would flood. And they had really poor materials. Now, there were two teachers there after 1947, when they built South Park Elementary, all of the white children went there, 222, I believe. And there were between 40 and 50 students that were attending Walker School. And you had Corinthian Nutter, who was the teacher for 1st through 4th grade, and Hazel McCrae Weddington was the teacher for 5th through 8th. So you had two teachers for 50 students, but they taught 4 grades each. Now, there were obviously differences between these two schools, and in 1948, some of the black families tried to enroll their students in the South Park Elementary, and that was squashed. And what they did was gerrymandered the school districts so that the African Americans had to go to Walker School, and the white families could go to South Park Elementary. Now, I will note also that there was no high school for African Americans. Okay. And what happened really was that some of the students had to walk past South Park Elementary to get to Walker School. And you see Madam C.J. Walker School, and you think, okay, it must have been named after that. But because it was an African-American school, but once again, it's integrated. And that's going to play a part. Well, there was the Webb family, and the Webb family had 10 children, and 10 children had to walk past South Park Elementary to come to Walker School. And they obviously did not like that. So you have 50 students here, 39 to 50 students, and 10 of them have to walk past that. And so they appeal to the school district, and school district squashes it. They appeal to the county squashes it, and they decide they're gonna form a lawsuit. Now, a Jewish civil rights activist in the area who lived in South Park, Esther Brown, caught on to this and wanted to be part of it. And she was of wealth, and she was a Caucasian, a white American, and that was important because people just weren't listening to African Americans. But Esther Brown, she was there, and I want to say gave him cred, but I don't like saying that, you know. So she got on, the NAACP got on, and all that. Well, now in 1949, instead of teaching here, Corinthian Nutter, who is credited with it, leads the Walker School Walkout. nicknamed the Walker Walkout. And what they did is they would teach in living rooms, they'd teach in a theater, they would teach anywhere. And the parents would hold like even bake sales, fish fries. The NAACP contributed, other people contributed money so that Corinthian Nutter would still be paid for her work. So they walked out, and the school saying, you got to go back, you got to go back, you got to go back. And they, no, we're not going back. We're not going back. It's not fair. It's not fair that you have this this inequality in schools. And so they filed this lawsuit, and NAACP came, and there was a statute that said that towns of under 15,000 could not segregate schools. And South Park happened to be under 15,000. Now, so if you were 15,001, you could segregate schools because they said you had enough people that you could make these multiple schools. Well, they fought that all the way to the Kansas Supreme Court, and the Kansas Supreme Court said, yeah, under 15,000, you can't segregate. So Johnson County School District 90 had a choice. Either put Caucasian Americans in Walker School or move all the African American students from Walker School over to South Park Elementary, which is what they decided to do because they didn't want to build another school. They didn't want to build another school, especially of equal value, right? Because it was an expensive school, South Park Elementary was. And so what they did was they shut Walker School down, and they moved all the students, and it integrated the schools. Now, it did not integrate in the same way that Brown versus the Board of Education did. It was integrated in a form that was equal, fair or different but equal. So she fought for those rights, that they must be equal. And when that case went, Johnson County said, okay, you know, we're not gonna do anything. We can't be equal, you know, it's not gonna be equal. So they changed, and Johnson County was desegregated in a sense because of that law. She didn't fight against the segregation part of it, but the fair but equal part of it. Now, in 55, I believe, Brown versus the Boards of Education comes, and they help out Esther Brown, Corinthian Nutter, NAACP, of course, and they end up going to the Supreme Court and desegregating what would then move the entire country to desegregation. So this school here was the equal, it was the fair and equal, which it was, are you not, and they won. And that led to the desegregation of Johnson County, which led, in a way, to, on your path, to Brown versus the Board of Education and desegregation of the United States. Here with Corinthian Nutter and Hazel McCrae Weddington, Esther Brown helping out, and NAACP. Fun fact, Thurgood Marshall actually worked on this case. Not a large part, but he did. So right here, Philadelphia Missionary Baptist Church is a place of very historic importance in Merriam. I'm at the corner of, it's 51st Street, and I apologize, I'm on the cross street, but 51st Street, if you drive down, you'll pass Brown Park, and you will see it. This small building had a big impact. So this is another episode of History with Andy Acker. I thank you for watching, listening, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.